This little area down here over the hill, it's a little pocket on our property that's kind of tucked away from everything else in the neighborhood. And it's a place we like to escape to and relax, sit by a fire, put up a hammock and just kind of waste some time. But it's kind of a mess. Let me show you around. These bricks right here are going to become a patio type fire pit patio thing. That's a later project. This mess of firewood, that's what's bothering me right now. It's just a mess. I got a fire ring that's going to get put into use later, kind of holds some kindling. I got an old washing machine drum that I was going to use to hold kindling. Some old post beams, firewood that's fallen out of a rack I built out of pallets. There's also more firewood here that needs to be cut and split and stacked. And there's a couple pallets over there that we can burn. It's just kind of like a recreational junk drawer down here. It's a place to relax, but at the same time, we're just accumulating stuff. And these are the kind of yards you drive by someday and think, how did it ever get that way? I mean, a couple years I'll park my Forester down here when it dies and let it rust and become one with the land. It's just a cluttered mess, and it kind of takes away from that tranquil, relaxing, sitting in the forest vibe I'm going for. So I need to build a place to store my firewood. I'm going to have 6 deck blocks down on the ground to lift the whole thing up to keep the wood away from direct contact. Hopefully I'll get a few more years out of it that way. I'm not going to level the blocks first. I'm going to wait and build the base platform and then use the base platform as a reference for my level so that I can actually get everything leveled that way. Because I'm no good at leveling those blocks individually and then having everything fit. I'm working up here because I have electrical down there. I have to use hand tools. And I don't have that in me. Not today. This would be easier if I had flatter ground, but I'm basically just building a box. A big, heavy box. I know this isn't level. I know it's not even close. Hell, I don't even have the brick spaced properly. So, I mean, that's the general plan, but this end needs to come up by some much. But that's after lunch. That's an after lunch problem. I know I said I was going to get lunch, but I'm kind of in a groove, so I'm going to roll with it. So I'm going to cut a bunch of these 2x4s down to the right size, build some things, then take a break for lunch before I put it all together down there in the woods. See how close these are. Okay. So I did make a mistake. I made the same mistake twice, so it all works out. Now I'm going to cut some 2x4s and some 2x3s and screw them together in weird combinations for a few reasons. One, to hold up the roof, and also then to provide a nailing surface for the slats that'll go on the 3 sides of the firewood shed. Make some cuts and then come back and show you what I'm talking about. Let's talk about my logic here for a minute. See if I can explain what I'm thinking. This is a 2x4 and this is a 2x3. If I screw it down right here, it does 2 things. It creates a 5.5 inch. I better double check my measurements. It sure does. It creates a 5.5 inch lip So this can sit on the base. It'll sit down on the base like this, and it'll give us something to rest on. And then this, since it's sitting on the base and not just screwed in from the side, should send that support up to the roof. Also, then it creates this little gap here, which makes a nailing surface for the slats that are going to go along the back of the shed. I probably don't need to pre-drill this, as I'm in the middle. I'm not towards any edges, and it's still a little soupy from being treated, but old habits die hard. And I think when I'm done with this, that's where I'm going to stop for the day. I've kind of been putting off the part I don't want to do at all. And that's level the base down there. But I'll do that tomorrow when I'm fresh and less irritable. We'll see how that goes. Wow. Pretty much the height of this stick. This is the part I'm not looking forward to, is leveling, because to me it doesn't make sense. I mean, I get the gist of it, but it's not plans. You can't like measure, cut, and expect it to come out a certain way. It's just digging a hole and checking and digging a hole and checking and digging a hole and checking. But I gotta go about that deep with those up there. And it might be those get sunk in and those get raised up, but I'll get it level. Can't lose my super precise measuring stick. All right, I'm not gonna go much deeper than that. I think it's gonna be a combination of both. Those are gonna go as deep as they can without having this sit on ground, because that kind of defeats the purpose. Let's dig a hole. Oh. That is going a lot easier than I expected. Obviously the big shovel is for getting the most of the work done. I think you've seen me use this little shovel for cleaning out at the end. There's one more thing. This has a name, and I'm not going to try and say it because I'll butcher it right now, but serrated on one side, it's kind of like a gardening knife. There's a couple tree roots in there, but this will just make quick work. Too low. Yep, I got to bring it up a little bit. That looks about right to me. Down here at this end, to keep it level, I got to add about 4 of these pavers underneath the deck block for this to sit level. So I just got to barely get that first one in and get it level, and then everything else will stack on top. So not a lot of digging. Except my aim was off. I need to have those come way forward. Also, I expect a lot of people to tell me I'm doing this wrong and it's all going to wash away, or it's not going to be perfectly level, or it's going to end up being crooked over time or whatever. But you know what? I'm not building a house. I'm not building a cabin. I'm not building an outhouse. It's going to be for firewood. This is one of those times when it's not just good, it's good enough comes into play. I don't want to get too excited because every time I get too excited about a win, I end up screwing something up down the line, but oh, that is level. All right, now let's just start screwing these pieces on. Okay, for all intents and purposes, this is where I should be done with framing, in quotes, framing. But I'm gonna add just a small closet on one side or the other. Basically a place to stash a couple tools, because these things just live outside right now. They're estate sale finds, and I don't care how beat up they get. But they're handy in like stoking the fire and digging out ashes. And if I can stash them in here, I mean, I give up, what, 8 inches of firewood space to throw a couple tools in there, worth it. I think that's a good place to stop for the day. I'd hope to get more done than this, but it's getting late, I'm getting kind of tired, and I don't want to make any mistakes that cost me materials or an injury, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Tomorrow, hopefully I'll get the roof done and start putting the slats in and maybe even load up some firewood. Guess who didn't think ahead to cut these at an angle that the roof would sit at? Like, that's not right. Needs to be like at an angle. And there's no power down here, so I'm gonna be doing it with a handsaw. Two, three, 4 more to go. Blah. What a fun way to spend a pleasant time in the woods. Will it stay? It'll probably just slide right off. Gives you some idea what it's going to look like. I got off late from work today, so that's enough progress. But incremental movement forward will get the job done till tomorrow. Okay, I'm kind of running out of daylight here. So I cut all these slats up in the shop. Brought my air compressor down, and hopefully I can get these installed before nightfall. But if not, I'll do it tomorrow. Or the next day. Or the next day. Well, I'm gonna try and wrap this up tonight. Don't know if I will, but hopefully the next time you see this thing, it'll have all these slats put up. Do you remember when I built this thing? Well, I saved all the leftover pieces. At the time, I didn't know what I was gonna do with them, but now, I found a use for them. It'll be the floor of the firewood shed. So my thought process here, space them out, figure out where I need to cut them, or maybe they're already cut to the right. Well, that is the happiest of accidents. What? I mean, those already fit. They're already the right depth. What? Oh yeah, we decided to stain it. We decided to go with black stain because we've used this same black stain up on other parts of the house, outdoors. All full of wood, space for some tools. And I got a couple accessories in here. Check this out. A couple things often forgotten when you come to sit by the fire. Bottle opener. And it's not walking away either. And check this out. Picked up a little waterproof case at Harbor Freight. Fire starters. And matchbooks. So if we come down here and we forget our lighter, we're covered. Hey, thanks for watching. And join me next time when I'm gonna make, I need to build. I'm gonna make more of these. Sounds about right. I'm gonna cut a bunch of, apparently I'm not the only one taking advantage of this nice weather. The rough part of this, and hopefully this drill has a mind of its own. Can you not chirp for a few minutes? How about a truce? A couple things that often get forgot. A couple things that get forgot.